Can a $25 plugin outshine a $130 behemoth? Or does a freebie steal the show? For this showdown, we'll see which Marshall plugin truly deserves your money. So first we have the free amp.
What do I owe you? Nothing. It's for free. Free!
The Hybrit head is a hybrid amp model inspired by two iconic British amplifiers. The PLS channel combines the tweaked normal and treble channels from the original. Both signals are processed and can be balanced using the PLS mix knob. The MCJ channel is another tweaked version of a classic British amp. This plugin doesn't replicate any specific model, but captures the essence of British amps. And then next we have the $25 plugin. The Britone is an ultra custom British amp, a completely tweakable British voice guitar amp sim. Recreate your favorite British amps and mods, completely edit the character to your liking. And then lastly we have the $130 amp. The MRH 810 V2 lead series guitar amplifier is a redesign of the original MRH 810 plugin modeled on a Marshall JCM 800 2210. This legendary head is one of the most acclaimed amplifiers that became an iconic image in rock history. Since the 80s we have seen and heard this iconic amp growling from Madison Square Garden to small clubs and everything in between. So for this amp showdown, we're going to do another blind sound test. I'm going to let you guys hear the amps, and I'll let you guys formulate your opinion from there. I want you to pick your favorite tone for each matchup. Then at the end, I'm going to reveal which amp was used where. And then I'll do a final full demo mix with these amps, with bass and drums, so you can hear they sound with other instruments. On everything, there's going to be no post-processing, so you guys get the most accurate representation of what these plugins can do. The only variable changing each time is the plugin. I bypass the cabs and pedal sections, and I'm loading an IR through NAD IR. I actually have two, just to make sure everything's a fair comparison. All the DIs were tracked with this guitar is a Solar GC 1.6 TBR, and it has Duncan Solar passive pickups. So what I did was I recorded one DI and just switched them between all the amps. I did a clean one and 3 distorted ones. So I just switched that one DI through all the tracks. But during the playthroughs that you're about to see, I'm going to switch guitars off. That doesn't mean I recorded a DI for each of those guitars. It's literally the same Solar DI. I'm just going to be playing different guitars to make it more visually appealing for you guys. So rest assured, only the Solar was used for all of the tracks so that the tone remains consistent throughout. So let's get into the tones and then we'll do a blind sound test for each of these tones. So this is the first tone, it's a clean tone. Here's the settings on the Hybrit. And the Hybrit doesn't actually come with a cab section, so it needs this. But here's all the settings on the NAD IR. So this is the Britone clean section. So here's my clean settings for the Britone. This one's a little bit of a trickier amp to try and dial in. So I couldn't get it quite to where I wanted to, but I think it sounds pretty good. And then I just want to show you, this would be the cab section on. This is the cab section off, so it just bypasses everything. Nothing here, and then the exact same NAD IR. And lastly we have the Nembrini. This one has a dedicated clean section, which is nice, so that was pretty easy to get going. And then everything's bypassed here just so you guys can see that. And here's the settings a little bit closer up if you needed it. So then here's the sound test for the first tone. So here's my second tone I made for this one. It is the Everything at Noon tone. I think it gives like a nice neutral start for everything. So here's the setting on the Hybrit for the Everything at Noon tone, and the exact same NAD IR. Then we have Everything at Noon for the Britone. I didn't turn the gain on for this one because this plugin is a gain heavy plugin. And then here's the exact same NAD IR. And then we have the Nembrini and the same exact NAD IR. So then here's the sound test for tone number 2. Then we have tone number 3. This is probably my favorite tone that I created. It's really a nice, like, modern thrashy tone. And this is the tone that I'll be using for the full demo mix at the end of this, because this is my favorite tone across the board for all three of these amps. Here's the settings on the Hybrit. For this one, I did use a TSE 808, but it's the exact same one across the board. And then here's NADIR again, just to show you guys nothing on there. So here's tone number 3 on the Britone, the nice thrashy tone. This one works really well with this one, obviously, because it's a nice high gain amp. Then here are the settings on the Nembrini. So then here's the blind sound test for tone number 3. Okay, and then for the last tone, it's like a nice scooped thrashy tone that I got going on here. So here's the settings for the Hybrit, and then the last time, just showing you guys NADIR, there's nothing there. And here's tone number 4 on the Britone, and then here's the tone on the Nembrini. So here's the blind sound test for tone number 4. So here's a full breakdown of all the amps and where they were used. What did you guys think? Which one did you like the most? Was it even? Were you surprised by anything? So now I want to give you a full representation of what these plugins can do. I recorded 3 DIs for this, one going left at 85%, one going right 85%, one down the center, just down 6 dB. I like to call it the Metallica Ride the Lightning method. That's what I believe James did on Ride the Lightning. I'm not 100% sure. People say that online all the time, but who knows how accurate that is. But I do like that method. So for all these tracks, I'm using tone number 3 because I like it the most. It's a nice thrashy tone. So first we're going to start off with the Hybrit, the free amp. And now we have the $25 amp, the Britone. And then lastly, we have the Nembrini, which is $130. So for me, the clear winner was the Nembrini. It's the most expensive amp, so it's not really surprising to me that it did win, in my opinion. But I feel like the Hybrit was a really close second. I think it matched the Nembrini punch for punch on all these tones, but the Hybrit just sounds like a little muffled. And I'm not sure if that's like my messing around with the amp or if it's like the internal EQ that the plugin comes with. It just sounds like a little muffled. Obviously, it's not as high quality because it's free, so maybe that's what it is.
I know, the pores. Oh, yuck, yuck.
But I do love it. I think it was pretty similar. And hey, it's free, so you can't go wrong with that. Then, lastly, we have the Britone. It's not that I hate it, I just don't think it matched up with the other ones. It's obviously like a little bit of a different voice to it. It's got more gain, so it's really good for thrash tones, but it was just really tricky to dial in. There was like a little bit of like I think it's like too mid-voiced. Like the chugs are just a little too like, there's a knob on it for it. And then I turned all the way down because it's got like, I think it's called like spank. It's just got something in there that I just don't like on the chugs. Honestly though, you can't go wrong with any one of these amps. I do recommend the Nembrini, and I really do recommend the Hybrit. Like, that's a free amp. It's great if you don't have the cash to get the Nembrini, but I did get that one on sale for $27, and they do that really often. So if you're looking for that amp, if you like the sound and you're looking at that amp, just wait for like a holiday. I just got it like a week ago, and it was $27, which is really great. So now if you enjoyed this video, I have a video right here where I use the Hybrit, the free amp, to try and recreate some of the tones from Metallica's Ride the Lightning. I feel like the Nembrini probably will do a better job with that, but I do like what I was able to make with that. So if you enjoyed the tone in this video, you might enjoy that one. If you've gotten this far, thank you for all your support and watching this video all the way through. It really means the world to me. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.